Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope.
Good morning. I have to run a few different errands this morning. I need to get dog food. I need to go drop off a lot of things that I'm donating because I'm trying to be really good about getting rid of stuff that I do not use. I need to go buy a new golf club because I've recently taken up golf as a hobby. I live in the same town as my grandparents and my grandfather loves golf. We're both not great at it, but it's a good bonding experience for us. A couple weeks ago, I played in a fundraiser. I was like the only woman there. And as I was like warming up on the driving range, the people I was playing with, they were like, Heather, hit the ball harder. Like, you're not gonna break the club. I was at the driving range practicing with my, I think it's called a 3-wood, the club that lets me hit the ball the furthest. That's all I know. And I broke the fucking club. The people I was like practicing with, they were like, Heather, just try and hit the ball harder. You're not gonna break the club. I broke the fucking club. In front of so many conventionally attractive men. And boy, did I give them a good laugh. This is a golf club that I've had. I think these were actually my grandmother's golf clubs. They were old as hell, so it made sense that it broke, but it had to happen to me. And I need to run to the bookstore and get belladonna. Obviously the drug. I just went to Petco, had to get new dog food. I don't really talk about like my animal. I mean, I show you guys my animals, but I don't really talk about them too much. I was about to say I'm such a good pet parent. I am, but I'm such a good, like very attentive pet parent. And I pay attention to literally every single detail because I want these motherfuckers to live as long as they can. Phineas has been showing signs of like potential hip dysplasia in the future. She's a mutt, so she has so many potential issues that can happen with her. So I'm trying to take every single preventative measure that I can. Her hips, she like bunny hops a lot when she runs, and she also like does this certain waddle that is very much could turn into hip dysplasia one day. So she's on this new medication thing. Had to get that. And then I also needed to pick her up new dog food, try and find quality food for my animals because they're basically my children. So I've been trying to switch her onto a new one. This big ass bag back there. I think it's, what's the brand? The brand is Wholehearted. That's the brand that Olive eats all her cat food in. And I was reading the ingredients and I was like, they look all right. I'm no expert, but they look all right. So I bought like the little bags last week to try and like slowly transition her into it and see if she even liked it. Phineas is not food motivated unless you have ice cream, and I say that because like I'll set her food out and she takes forever to like go and eat it. And not because I overfeed her, just because like she's like, I'll get to it eventually. So it took me like 2 weeks to figure out if she actually liked this stuff because I was like, is she ignoring her food because she just doesn't care and she'll get to it later, or is she ignoring her food because she thinks this tastes like this? I think she likes it. I got the second book. I don't know what the series is called. The first book is Belladonna, like I was talking about. I went ahead and got Foxglove. I showed you guys a little bit of it and what it looked like while I was in Barnes & Noble. But they don't have, this is the special edition, like the Barnes & Noble. And the hardcover of it, I haven't even read the series. I'm just assuming I'm gonna like it. It's so beautiful. Even if I don't like it, I want this on my shelf. I was asking the worker at Barnes & Noble if they had the special edition of Belladonna and like the hardcover, and she says they discontinued it completely. Like, I do not have it anywhere. And she said if I want to find the special edition, which is probably equally as beautiful, if you have it, I would love for you to send me a picture, or I guess I could Google it. She said they don't even have the hardcover at Barnes & Noble anymore. She said to look on Pango Books, or, which I've been obsessed with Pango Books lately. It's like a resale book thing online. And I looked and I can't find any so far. I feel like some might come for sale like next year when people realize they don't even like want the special edition if they have it. I ordered the hardcover of Belladonna though, not the Barnes & Noble special edition, and it'll be here tomorrow. I've been really obsessed with Rachel Gillig's duology. I think it's like the Shepherd King something, this duology. And I've been raving about it on social media because the second book came out on October 17th. It is very much gothic fantasy. Anything with gothic, I love so much. And I was talking about that on Instagram and someone said, read this series. I don't know if it's fantasy, but Stephanie Garber, who kind of like wrote a review about it on the back, said it's a deliciously deadly gothic romance full of poisonous deeds, spectacular secrets, and dark mysteries. Sold. It is YA, I think, so the romance isn't anything crazy. Turns out I like that. It's funny how like your preferences in books like continues to change. Recently, I don't even need like the spice. And I understand if you do. Last year, if the book didn't have spice, I really didn't want to read it. Now, if there's angst in a book, that's really all I need. That's why I love slow burn romances so much, because I just need the angst. And then you can like kiss on the last page. That's all I need. It just so turns out that golf clubs are expensive. And you're like, Heather, you said you've been golfing. Don't you have a set of golf clubs? They were hand-me-downs that I got in the 7th grade. I didn't know that they were so expensive because I've never had to buy a golf club. I went in there looking for a 3-wood. I told you guys that. I also went in there, I didn't mention this, looking for a new putter because my putter is so rusted. Turns out, I don't mind rust at all. I like my rusted golf club now. The putters that I saw in there, I was like, oh, this is nice. $300? I'll kick the ball with my foot. This is just a hobby because I like hitting shit. Anyways, I didn't get any golf clubs, but I did get some hot pink balls because if I don't use a really bright colored ball, I'll lose it. I am woman and I'll be able to find my ball when I whack it into the woods. I've always struggled with hormonal issues ever since I was like 16 or something. I've also always been a very healthy person. I work out very regularly and I've always eaten very healthy. Well, because of my hormonal issues, my body weight since I was young has always fluctuated a lot. I mean, I'm doing the same thing I always do and I'll randomly gain 30 pounds and then I'll randomly lose 30 pounds. I think I've kind of gotten my hormones under control a little bit. I've come to find out that low stress like exercise is a lot better for me, whereas I used to do a lot of weightlifting and like long distance running and like high intensity workouts. My body fucking hated that, and I think that's why I had such a fluctuation. Anyways, I've been selling my clothes from a year and a half ago on Poshmark. I just sold these 2 pairs of REI overalls. They're in great condition. They just do not fit at all. I mentioned Pango Books a little bit earlier. I'm also starting to sell some books on there that I'm just never gonna read because I don't want my physical TBR to be like so astronomical. If I'm gonna look at the book over and over again and be like, I'm never gonna read that, I'm gonna get rid of it. I think there are, I counted the other day, like 45 unread books on my shelf. I don't want that number to get above 50. That's stupid. Why would I have more than 50 books on my shelf that I have yet to read? So, I'm gonna get rid of some books and then plan to read some of these books. A few of the ones that I have listed on there right now, which I honestly don't see selling, I might just mark them down to like $1 and see if they'll sell. Where the Crawdads Sing, I'm never gonna read this. I am literally never gonna read this. I know it's popular for a reason. I know it's probably good. I believe you when you say it. I have no desire to read this book. I bought Priory of the Orange Tree last summer. I'm not reading that. The Inheritance Games. Maybe I won't sell this one. I actually think I'm gonna keep The Inheritance Games because over the past few weeks alone, I've been recommended to read the series like over and over again. I didn't think I would like it, but from the way people are like breaking down certain scenes and being like, this is why you should read it, my interest is like peaking a little bit. I'm selling this book. I'm never gonna read this. been reading for the past 3 or 4 hours. Last year I only read 3 different holiday books during the holiday season, so I don't have that many recommendations to give you guys this year. And I came to that realization last week and I was like, wait, I want to give more than just 3 holiday recommendations. So I downloaded on my Kindle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books. And then I bought one at Barnes & Noble today. And then with my Pango book sales, I bought 3 books on Pango books. How many is that total? Did I say the number 12? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 16. God, am I just gonna read holiday books this entire November? I've convinced myself I could get through, we'll say 10. I wanna read at least 10, or at least find 10 different like book recommendations, so you have like an array of books to choose from. The only ones that I read last year that I enjoyed were Mr. Fixer-Upper. No, The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. Also, my contacts are like behind my eyelid at the moment. The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. That's the second book in an interconnected series. So also take these with a grain of salt because my book taste was a little bit different. I'm gonna take my contacts out real quick. Some people get really freaked out with stuff that happens with the eyes, so I'm gonna turn. Take these recs also with a grain of salt because it's been a little bit since I've read them. Love Light Farms by B.K. Borson. That's probably my favorite Christmas book. I do remember really loving that. It's Friends to Lovers, it's really fun. And then Across Country Christmas. I do remember this book being a fun read. However, this book had no spice in it. It was like kind of angsty, but I think it was more like minor friendly. It kind of reminded me of Sarah Adams. I think that's the author I'm thinking of. Anyways, I downloaded so many books on my Kindle on Kindle Unlimited. I was on the hunt yesterday. Georgia and I share a Kindle Unlimited account now. Actually, I don't charge Georgia. So Georgia just uses my Kindle Unlimited account now. She was previously sharing with her mom. I don't think her mom actually kicked her off her account, but her mom was probably a little fed up with the fact that Georgia was reading so many Why Choose romance books, and that was like popping up on their shared Kindle account. Georgia went through this phase, and once she watches my videos, Georgia, are you still in this phase so far? I don't think you are because you haven't downloaded any of these books on my Kindle. She went through this Why Choose phase where she was reading like all of Lily Gold's books. So she's decided to use my Kindle account so her mom doesn't have to see that. That being said, I had to kind of like give her a heads up as to why there are 12 Christmas books on our Kindle account, because Kindle has like a limit for the books that you can add, which I kind of get, but also kind of stupid. So I just needed to make sure that if she needed me to remove any of them and download them later, that I would do that. I'm currently reading Baking Under the Mistletoe. It's based in New York City. The FMC is the MMC's intern, but it's not creepy. He's a grump, but he's kind of wholesome at the same time. Like, he loves poetry. I think he went to college for like dramatic arts or something like that. So he's like, I kind of love him and his personality. He doesn't really love people or being around people. And she is the complete opposite of him. She's very bubbly. Again, she's his intern, so she's like planning holiday parties for the office, and she loves doing stuff like that. She loves Christmas, and he's just, it's not that he doesn't like Christmas or that he's like the Grinch or anything. He's just kind of indifferent about it. Anyways, they start fake dating because when they're at one of the work Christmas events, she's like standing next to him and his ex is like right over there. And she's like, oh, I thought you would want to come tonight because your girlfriend's here. And he's like, that's not my girlfriend anymore. She's like, huh? Okay, go with it, go with it. And then they like fake date. I am 40% into it. They're bickering. Some people will find it annoying. My love language is bickering, and they've done nothing but that. This girl took, this girl took 3 trains and an Uber to get his favorite cake for his birthday, when like everybody forgot his birthday. You got my favorite cake? I took 3 trains and an Uber to get your favorite cake. Why? Because it's your birthday, Asher. His face softens. Shocked that someone would go out of their way for him. Oh my god. She got him a gift that's like actually meaningful to him. It's like simple, but like You know when someone like gets someone something and it's so simple but you can just tell they pay attention? It's like someone getting me a book or like getting a signed copy of one of my favorite authors' books for my birthday. Like something like that. That's like the type of gift. He called her a weirdo! If you read this book, I hope you enjoy their banter. And if you're annoyed with it, just never come around me when I'm flirting with someone, okay?